children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well and studying well. So children, isn't science interesting? It tells us about so many things that exist around us and also within us, isn't it? So children, in this chapter, we are going to talk about living and non-living things. So, we are going to learn about natural things, man-made things, living things and non-living things. So, children, you know that we've already studied this in our previous classes, but this is like a revision. At the same time, it is going to give us some more detailed knowledge, alright. So, there are plenty of things around us like birds, flowers, buildings, pets, rockets, bridges, roads, etc. This list is endless. Things like animals, plants, rocks, clouds, the sun, the moon, etc. are provided to us by nature. They are called natural things. So, natural things, in other words, are the things that were already existing in the nature. Okay. Now, what are these different things that were natural things? Like the birds, the animals, the trees, the sky. These are all natural things. They were already existed in this world and were created when the world came into existence. Alright. Now, certain things like roads, bridges, buildings, cars, buses, etc. they are not provided to us by nature. They are made by human. So, they are called man-made things. So, things that have life in them are called living things. Example, insects, animals and plants, etc. Whereas, the things that do not have life are called non-living things. Example, stars, moon, etc. All living things have a few things in common. So, children, the natural things were the things that were already existing in the nature. Now, since God created human beings, okay, a human being started developing different types of needs, okay, depending on the conditions in the nature. And that is why, for their own convenience, man started making different things, okay, like he made a car, he made clothes. So, these are all man-made things, okay, that were not already existing. But what man did was, he picked up certain things that were existing in the nature, used his brain, his creativity and made things for us, alright, for himself, for others, so that they can benefit from it and use them. Okay. So, those things created by man are known as man-made things. Alright. Now, the things that have life in it, like animals, birds, insects, human beings, they are all living beings. Okay. And those that do not have life in them, but already existing in the nature, they are non-living things like the stars, moon, etc. Alright, now let us talk about the difference between living and non-living things. Alright, so living things, they differ from non-living things in many ways. Let us see how they are different. All living things move. Okay, have you seen any non-living thing moving? No. It stays in its place until we move it, alright. So, living things, they move on their own. Birds fly, fish swim, snakes crawl, elephants walk on 4 legs, human beings walk or run on 2 legs, kangaroos hop, etc. So, animals move, okay. Now, they move from one place to another in search of food and shelter. They also move to protect themselves from predators. So, children, you must have observed that anything that is living, it can be a tiniest worm, but it is always moving, okay, and it moves on its own, whereas anything that is non-living will not move, alright. So, okay, now children, do plants move? The plants do not move from one place to another. However, the sunflower bends towards the sun. When we touch the leaves of touch me not or chui mui plant, the leaves begin to fold and drop. When a seed germinates, the root goes down and stem comes up into the air. But a pen lying on the table will be on the table as it is. It does not move on its own. Therefore, a pen is a non-living thing. Alright. So, children, plants do not move on their own. Okay. They move with the breeze. Okay. The sunflower, it bends towards the sun. Okay. So, that is a natural phenomena. Now, the touch me not plant, okay, you must have seen this plant. It is generally by the roadsides and all, or somewhere in the small bushes you will find this, okay. And whenever you touch this plant, it is also called as mimosa, or it is also called as chui mui or touch me not plant. So, whenever you touch it, okay, automatically the leaves, they fold and they drop down. Similarly, certain plants also, okay, after the sunset, they fold the leaves, okay. So, that is a natural phenomena. Now, when a seed germinates, the root goes down and the stem comes up, okay. As it grows, it starts coming up automatically on its own. So, children, now we know the difference between a living thing and a non-living thing, that they can move, okay. The living things can move, whereas the non-living things do not move until we move them. Alright. Now, living things need food. This is the second thing, second difference. Okay. Living things need food to live and grow. Food provides them energy. Plants make their own food by using air, water and sunlight. However, animals and humans cannot make their own food. They depend directly or indirectly on plants or animals for their food. So, your doll does not require food. Therefore, it is a non-living thing. So, children, what are some of the basic necessities on which our survival depends? Food, water, sunlight, air. So, one of them, it is not only us, it is every living organism, be it plants, be it animals, be it human beings. We all require food to survive. Okay. Now, plants, they make their food by using sunlight, water and air. Okay. Animals and humans cannot make their own food, but they depend directly or indirectly on plants or animals for their food. Okay. Now, tell me one thing, the doll that you have, okay, or maybe the statue of the Superman that you have, okay, the toys, do they have life in them? No. Do they need food? Do they eat food? No, they do not eat food because they are non-living things. Alright. Now, living things grow. A seed grows into a baby plant and baby plant grows into a tree. A chick grows into a hen. A human baby grows into a young boy or girl and becomes an adult. Animals grow in size during the early part of their life. Plants grow throughout their lifetime. You will grow big, but your doll will not grow. It will remain of the same size. So, it is a non-living thing. Okay. Now, let us look at this Factopedia. Seeding a baby plant grown from seed. Okay. Seedling is a baby plant that grows from a seed. So, children, you must have observed yourself, okay. When you were born, you were very small, you were very tiny, and now as and how the years have passed by, you have started growing up and now you look different. You are of a different size from what you were when you were born. Similarly, the trees, the plants, the seeds, okay, the seeds, when they start growing into a plant, the plant starts growing in size and shape also, okay. So, similarly with animals also, for example, a chick, okay, grows into a hen. So, every living organism grows, okay, into size or shape, okay, whereas your toys or anything that is non-living will not grow, okay, it stays as it is, the way it was created. Alright, now, let us look at this activity, what you have to do, okay. Sow few coriander seeds in a pot with garden soil. Water the seeds regularly. Observe the changes that occur in the seeds and do seedlings grow from them. So children, this is an activity that you need to do, okay. Ask your mother to give you some seeds, maybe mustard seeds or coriander seeds, okay, or maybe any other seeds, any other type of seeds, and then put them in a, you can put rajma seeds also, okay. You can put them in a pot, okay, gather some soil below, then put the seeds, then again cover it up with soil and water it little bit, little every day, and then you will see that it grows into a plant, okay. Do write this observation and share it with your teacher as well. Alright, now, okay, now next, living things feel. So children, we all have emotions, okay, be it plants, be it animals, be it humans, all living organisms have feelings, okay. So we have different types of emotions, okay. We may feel that the plant is just there, it does not feel, but however, it does feel, okay, and it does get impacted, okay. So if it gets impacted, you will see that it doesn't grow further, it dies. Right now, what happens when you offer milk to a dog? It wags its tail. What is your response when your mother prepares your favorite pudding? Your mouth waters. These are certain responses that occur when there are changes in our environment. The factors that cause living things to respond are called stimuli. Okay? Plants also respond to stimuli. For example, the leaves of touch me not plant close when touched. The plant always grows towards sunlight. Non-living things do not respond to stimuli. Okay? So children, we all have emotions. The living organisms have emotions. They all feel, okay, be it plants. For example, the plant of touch me not, it folds itself, it feels shy. Okay, plants grow in the direction of the sunlight. So that's how they start feeling. Okay, and the feeling of happiness, sadness, feeling the pain, okay. These are all different types of feelings that we all have, whereas the non-living things do not have any such feelings, okay, and they do not respond to any type of stimuli, okay. The response that we give, the factors that cause living things to respond are called stimuli, okay. Now, activity. Write the responses to the following stimuli, okay. Now, you are denied for your favorite ice cream. So, when your parents say no, you want to have an ice cream and they say no, how do you feel? Okay. You touch a hot object, what happens? Okay. You immediately respond, okay. With the moment you feel, touch something which is hot, your body responds, okay. It just, you know, you move your hand and you get burnt, okay. You hit an animal with a stick, how does the animal feel? Okay. You throw light with torch, okay, on anybody's eyes. So what happens? They start, their eyes start burning and they close the eyes immediately. That's the response to the light coming from the torch. Certain object falls in your eye. So if something falls into our eye, what happens? We immediately start feeling that pricky thing, okay. If something goes into our eye and then we start rubbing our eye, okay. So these are different types of stimuli, okay. Now, living things breathe, okay. All living things breathe in air. Plants breathe through the tiny holes on their leaves called stomata. Animals breathe through nose, lungs, gills, skin, etc. Close your nose and mouth tightly and look at the watch. How long were you able to keep both of them closed? Not even for a minute. Human beings cannot live without breathing. Cover the nose of your doll. Does anything happen? Nothing would have happened. So, non-living things do not breathe. Living things breathe, okay. We all need to take in air, inhale air, exhale air, okay. The exhaled air is taken as a breath by the plants, okay, and then they give out air which is used by us, okay, in the form of oxygen. So, we all require air, okay, and we all breathe, okay. Now, plants also have tiny holes on their leaves, okay. Now, these tiny holes on the leaves, they are called stomata, okay. We breathe through our nostrils, okay, and the animals, okay, some animals breathe through the nose, some through their lungs, some through their gills, some through their skin, okay. So, We all cannot live without breathing. You can try to hold your breath for some time, okay, by closing your mouth and nose, but you will see immediately, okay, you open your, you remove your hands off because you are, want to take a breath in, okay. So, you cannot stay without it for a longer time. But now talk about your doll, okay. If you close her nose and mouth, will anything happen to her? No. It will continue to stay as it is, okay. So, non-living things, they do not breathe. Now, living things reproduce. Plants reproduce through seeds or other body parts. Animals reproduce by laying eggs or by giving birth to babies. Non-living things cannot reproduce. So, if you see the cycle of life, okay, animals and human beings, okay, we all give birth to babies, okay. Some animals, they lay eggs. Plants, they reproduce by from their seeds, okay. The moment we sow the seeds or the seeds are scattered, automatically new plants will start growing, okay. So, non-living things do not have that quality of reproduction, okay. They cannot give birth to young ones, okay. Now, living things die, okay. All the living things that are existing, okay, they die someday. It means living things have a fixed lifespan. The lifespan of an animal depends on the kind of animal it is, okay, and the availability of food and water. Trees and shrubs, they live for many years, while herbs live for a few months. So, every living thing, it dies someday or the other, okay, be it plants, be it animals, be it human beings, we all will die someday or the other, okay. So, we all have a fixed lifespan. The amount of years that anything lives, okay, or survives for is known as the lifespan, okay. Now, some of the animals, okay, their life span depends on the food and water, okay. Now, trees and shrubs, they can live for many years, but herbs, they have weak stems, okay, and that is why some of the herbs and all are very seasonal. So, they live only for few months, okay. Now, let us see how much you have followed, okay. Let us do a revision. There are many living and non-living things around us. Animals move in search of food. Living things grow, feel, breathe, reproduce, etc. Green plants make their own food, whereas animals and humans are dependent on plants or other animals, okay. Now, so children, I hope you followed this chapter. Now, it's time to do the exercises, alright. Multiple choice question, take the correct option. Living things feel, grow, breathe, do not multiply. So, here the correct option is living things feel, grow, breathe, okay. So, all these are the correct options here, okay. This is a non-living thing. Plant, animal, cockroach or car? It's a car. This is a living thing. Doll, teddy bear, mosquito or table? It's the mosquito. This is a natural non-living thing. Tree, sun, butterfly or dog? It is the sun, okay. Now, fill in the blanks. Dash prepare their own food. Who prepares their own food? The green plants prepare their own food. Animals move in search of food, okay. Lungs and gills are organs for breathing. Plants breathe through the tiny holes on their leaves. Living things need food to get energy, alright. Now, write T for true and F for false statements. Plants do not breathe. This is false. They all breathe. They all take in air and they breathe through the stomata. Living things get energy from food. Absolutely true. All plants reproduce from seeds. No, this is false. Okay, some plants do reproduce from another stem of a plant also. Okay, all living things feel, grow and reproduce. This is true. Animals make their own food. absolutely false, because animals and humans are dependent on plants and other animals for food. Okay. Now, from the given word elephant, which is a living organism, make words of 3 or 4 letters naming 2 living and 2 non-living things. So, now we already have an example here. Okay. Now, you have to find out one more. Okay. Now, this pen is a non-living thing. So, you have to find out one more thing which is non-living and add it here, and 2 living things that can be found, okay, in the name or in the alphabets, using the alphabets of the letter elephant. Okay. Now, short answer questions. What are man-made things, and give example. Man-made things are the things that are made by man for their use, by utilizing things from the nature. Okay. Examples can be table, chair. Alright. Now, name the breathing organs of the following. Okay. Plants, they breathe through tiny holes on the leaves called stomata. Fish through gills or lungs. Okay. And humans through lungs. How plants respond to light. Okay. So, plants grow with the sunlight that is coming. Okay. And some of the plants, they move in the direction of the light. What is seedling? Seedling is a baby plant. Okay. Why animals move from one place to another? Animals move from one place to another in search of good weather conditions and in search of food and shelter. Alright. Now, long answer questions. What are non-living things? And give 2 examples. Non-living things are the things that do not breathe, that do not feel, that do not reproduce. Okay. Some of them are existing in the nature, but they do not have the quality of the living things. For example, the sun, the moon. Okay. Now, how are living things different from non-living things? Okay. As we said, living things can move, living things grow, living things can breathe, okay. Living things reproduce. Non-living things do not feel, do not move, do not grow, okay, or do not reproduce. Why do not the plants move from one place to another? The plants are fixed deeply down to the soil, and that is the reason why they do not move from one place to another. However, different parts of the plant can move with the breeze or through animals from one plant to another, okay, which is with the movement of that. Alright, but a plant as such cannot move from one place to another. Okay, it is fixed to the soil. Now, critical thinking skills. A table is a man-made thing and is made from the wood of a tree, but it is considered as non-living thing. Why? Okay, show all characteristics of non-living thing. So, take for example a table, look at it and tell us why it is a non-living thing, although it is created from the wood of the trees. Okay. Now, case-based study. Living things need food to live and grow. Food provides energy to them. Animals obtain their food from plants or other animals. Some animals like cows, goats, sheep, deer, etc. eat only plants, while animals like tigers, lions, jackals, snakes, etc. they eat other animals as food. Plants do not need to go here and there to make food. They make their own food with the help of air, water and sunlight, while human beings depend on both plants and animals for their food. Animals grow in size during the early part of their life. A chick grows into a hen and a cub grows into a lion. Plants grow throughout their lifetime. A seed grows into a sapling, which grows into a plant and then into a big tree. So, children, this was a gist of everything that we have learnt in this chapter, okay? The different characteristics of plants, animals, humans. Alright, now, living things need food to live, grow, both of these or none of these. It is both of these, okay? Human beings obtain their food from plants only, animals only, or both of these or none of these. It is both of these. Plants make their food from sun, water, air, or all of these. It is all of these. A cub grows into a calf, lion or hen, or none of these. It is the lion. Okay. A seed grows into a tree, sapling, plant, or none of these. Into a sapling and then into a plant and then into the tree. Okay. Now, life skills. In your surroundings, you see many animals and birds. Study any two birds and two animals, the way they move, the food they eat and their mode of reproduction. So, around you, you can see two birds, like you can notice a parrot or maybe a sparrow or a crow or a pigeon. Okay, look at them and then find out information about them. Okay, for animals, you can look at a cat or a dog or any animal that is around you, and then you can write about it. Okay, now let's do something new. You have to divide the class into two groups. Group A will cut the pictures of living things from the old newspaper and magazines, and other group will cut the pictures of non-living things. Okay. Group A will paste the pictures and make a collage of living things, and group B will make a collage of non-living things. So, gather all the pictures, split yourselves into group and then make a collage of living things. You know what a collage is, right? So, you take a chart paper and you stick different pictures, and that will give you a collage. Okay. Now, after that you have to draw one living and non-living thing. Okay. Now, explore. Name few things from your surroundings that you use in your life which are made up of things that were living earlier. How cutting of tree is harmful for environment. So, children, as we all know that we are all interdependent, okay, that means we are dependent on each other. Human beings, animals and plants, we are all interdependent on each other. Okay. So, if there are no plants, there are no trees, what's the food that animals and humans will get? So, think about it and talk about why, okay, cutting of trees is harmful. You can write a passage on that. Alright, children, but before you write the passage on that, quickly reread this chapter, complete all the exercises and then get on to your passage. Alright, so get going, children.